Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the second session that we have for the e-commerce vertical today at the Base Summit Online. And today I have a very good friend all the way from UK, Mr. Samit Patel, the CEO of Joopio and Samit Patel Agency. For a lot of people that do not know Samit yet, this is one of the best internet guru out there that you really need to get to know, because he is one of the top crowdfunding agency and experts that help a lot of businesses pre-sold their products on platforms like Kickstarters, Indiegogo, and he did more than 30 over million of sales for a lot of these people. And he's definitely one of these top experts that we want to talk to and hopefully be able to learn from him at this point of time, especially when a lot of us are being forced to go online. Samit, why not say hi and do a quick introduction to everyone before we go into your session?
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. I've got a value pack session, so don't miss it today. Some of my background, I've helped raise over 31 million for hundreds of different products from all sorts of industry. I'm known as the product launch Sifu, which was a lovely name given to me when I was in Malaysia recently. But yeah, I've helped so many different products, so many different companies. And all of these things involve around how to launch a product or a business. Some of you may be there thinking about how to launch your business because now you're at home, or some of you have already got an existing business and you're thinking, okay, how can I make some money, or how can I make sure that I survive for, the next month or the next 2 months or beyond. We don't know how long it's going to take. So it's important for us to be able to understand and put these things in place. But I've been involved in many different industries. I've helped do so many different things, and I'd love to be able to give you a part of that to help educate you and help get you out of the situation that you're currently in.
All right, because we actually had some of our friends within the community who also went on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, who have also learned from Samit's masterclass previously, and they give absolute great feedback that learned from Samit previously. And so without further ado, Samit, let's get into the session right away. I saw you have very big slides and a lot of information out there, so we don't want to miss anything from there. So are you ready?
Yeah, let me just load up the slides. Tell me if you can see them on your side.
Yes, we can.
So it should be the power of the crowd to make your business unstoppable.
Yes.
Is that
So,
the one? Yep.
yeah. So for all our audience in front of the screen right now watching this session, if you have any questions, remember to type it down in the comment section. And Samit and his team, they will be answering some of these questions also in the comment section later. So Samit, stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And you guys are in for a treat. If anyone knows my presentation style, I love to give a lot of value, a lot of things that people can actually do. But I always think it's always good start to understand who I am, what I do, and the journey that I've come from. So, my journey is probably a lot like many of you out there. I come from a Indian family. Indian families are known for making sure that their children are becoming doctors or lawyers or things like that. And I was never really that's not me, that's not what I wanted to do. And I've just been going through life, trying loads of different things. I graduated in 2009 during the last recession. And during that time, I was doing so many different business ventures. I had business ventures, and I was working in a hair salon, even though I knew nothing about women's hair. I was helping training courses then. I was running social media company then. I did so many different avenues. And I think it's important for us to understand, not everyone gets things right the first time. A lot of you may be looking at this and looking for a way out. There are no silver bullets, but understanding from other people's experiences can help you out. So let's get into a bit more about what I used to do. During university, I used to run a lot of nightclubs. So I used to get people, famous singers, famous people from US and UK, and I'd get them into my clubs and I'd charge people entry. And this was something that I did to actually help my situation when I was at university, because I came from that low income family. It was all about, how do I pay for my tuition fees? How do I pay for going out and enjoying myself? And this was one of the ways that I was able to figure out. I think this example is really important, because when your back is up against the wall, that's when your brain actually thinks about the most innovative solutions. So this was something that came out when I was really desperate and needed money, and I was able to come out with a solution. I looked at what was happening in the market, I looked at what was going on, and I was able to create a solution. So this is something that will help you later on. By the age of 28, I had no success. I am 32 now. So I used to, from 2009 all the way up to 28 years old, I did many different companies. I ran a travel company. I was doing affiliate marketing. I was doing social media marketing. I was doing all types of different businesses. I've tried it all, from all the biggest gurus in the world. I've done all their courses. I've learned so many different things. And none of it really helped me by the time I was 28 years old. Maybe it was a mixture of reasons, but nothing really went right. It was only after this that I really became a success. In 2015, I worked on a campaign. We'll go into that a bit more detail later on, but that was the first campaign I helped raise 1.6 million for. Since then, I've raised over 31 million for businesses all around the world in all types of different niches, from launching books to launching products on websites, to launching Amazon products, to launching e-commerce products, so many different things. And a lot of people, I know a lot of my experiences based on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, but I've done so many website launches. You don't have to launch on Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Kickstarter and Indiegogo is just a channel for you to use. You can launch through your own website. You can do many different things. It's the main thing that you've got to do is understand how to use the power of the crowd before you launch anything. So that's what this talk's going to be about, but also it's going to give you a lot more survival tips on how to actually survive the situation we're in. So let's have a look at some of the details. So this was a McKinsey report. McKinsey is a firm that looks at loads of different areas. It has some of the biggest enterprise clients under its books, and this is what it made. This is a really good, useful infographic that can help you understand how the industry is going to be affected by the coronavirus. Obviously, the commercial aerospace industry, so air and travel, is going to be the one that's going to be affected mostly, because people are going to be very scared to travel for a very long time. Then also you've got oil and gas, automotive, and then apparel, fashion, and luxury. When a recession happens, or when people are worried about the downturn, they're cutting out on all the luxury items. So people are still going to be buying. So you shouldn't be worried about whether people are going to be buying or not. But people aren't going to be buying the Gucci's as much, or the Versace as much as they used to, or they're not going to be buying the Ferraris or the Bentleys, because people are more likely to say, hey, do I really need this right now? And most people will say probably not. So this is how to understand the sectors and maybe where you fall under. Some of these things are going to last well beyond this year. It's going to last until 2021, but this is a good indication and to help you understand what is happening. It shouldn't scare you. That's the one thing I tell people: don't be scared. Things are going to turn around, things are going to get better, but you can't just stick your head in the sand. You can't just stick your head in the sand and say, oh, the world is crashing around me, so I'm going to do nothing. This is another really good infographic I usually like to look at. It's an infographic related to investment. So a lot of people think the best time to buy is when the market is really high, and that's when people generally tend to buy. But the greatest opportunity occurs when the market is low, when people are frightened, when people are worried about what is happening. And this is exactly that you got to think about. You know, if you look at the population and what is happening, most of the people are panicking. But now is the opportunity to push yourself to work out what is happening and how to turn things around. So if you can look at the bottom part of this, you can see the greatest potential now is when people are frightened or alarmed, because the market is going to eventually recover. So whatever you're doing, now's the time to invest in building up all these things. So I've devised a 3-step plan for you guys to help you overcome this. It's the short-term, mid-term, and long-term game plan. The short term is all about things that you need to do in the next 7 days to get you out of financial hazard. The second one is about the midterm, what you're going to do in the next 30 days. And then the one beyond that is the beyond 30 days. So whenever you're creating a plan, you can't just be thinking about the short term. You need to have a mixture of long term and short term involved. The short term. So the first thing we're going to cover is understanding your numbers to make better decisions. It's so crucial to understand exactly how much you're spending, how much money you're getting, and everything that needs to happen. Number 2 is all about getting leverage, understanding who your creditors are, who people owe money to. Number 3 is about generating low-hanging money. Everyone has a lot of debt or people that owe them money, and this is all about that. Number 4 is all about getting lean so you can survive anything in the future. A lot of times businesses, we generate a lot of fat, and sometimes this fat isn't necessary. And number 5 is all about just asking for help. So the first thing we're going to do is look at understanding your numbers. So let's just go into this. So this is the financial plan that everyone should have. You should be able to understand your numbers very clearly. Everyone should be understanding how much money you're earning and how much your outgoings are. So this way you can plan in advance. At the moment, you can see we are in April. So January, February, March, we were making 8,000 per month, for example. And then April, we only had one client paying us. But you can see that the costs stayed the same. So we were having 5,000 plus costs. So at the moment, you should be projecting, actually, this is what potentially could happen, right? I could only earn this amount for the next couple of months. So what is going to happen? Every time you have money coming in, you should be working out what your costs are, projecting what's going to happen the next month. Sometimes if you have a marketing service business, then you understand, okay, this month I'm going to be making this amount of money because the client is stuck into a 6-month contract or a 3-month contract. So then you can project how much money in the next. So it's important to understand exactly what's going to happen and how this is going to affect your cash. So if we only have one client paying us for April, August, September, October, November, just for example, we should work out, look, what is happening? I'm going to be making a $3,000 loss every month. So then I need to work out how much runway do I have? Do I have cash reserves built up in the account? Because I made this amount, I made 8,000 profit in the first 3 months. So I should have 8,000 profit. So looking at this, I've probably got a good runway for at least 2 months or maybe even 3 months. So I can take this loss on for 3 months because I have money in the bank. But for July, August, September, October, I'll be at a major loss. So this way you can look at this and make decisions. You know, you've got May, June, July. Here, for example, you've got employee 1, employee 2, office costs. So you can work out, do I actually need the office? Can I get rid of the office? Maybe I can. Maybe I can save some money here. Do I really need employee 2? I can get rid of it. So you can see your loss is much smaller. So this is all about understanding where money is coming from, as well as understanding where money is going out. If you can make these decisions and you can understand your incomings and outgoings, you can make much better decisions. So it's important to understand your numbers. Otherwise, you can't plan and you can't understand what's going on. Also, a lot of times you're going to be in panic, but if you look at the numbers and you think, okay, actually I've got good runway, I'm doing, it's not too bad. So in the short term, number 2 is all about building your runway. Runway is just money in the bank. So you want to be stockpiling as much money in the bank as possible. So one of the ways to do this is actually to contact people that owe you money. A lot of the times you probably have a lot of people that will owe you some money. And now is the time to actually call them up and go, hey, look, can you get me some money? You owe me money. I need this money right now. So you're acting as a debt collector. You know, most businesses have a lot of debt. We usually offer a lot of credit to these companies as well. So if you can ask to get this money in advance. You can also speak to your credit card companies. A lot of the times people are using American Express or various credit cards around the world. You can ask them to actually increase your limit. So if your limit is 5,000 per month, why don't you ask them to increase it to 10,000 or see what they can increase it to? You can also extend your payment date. So if the payment is every 30 days, you can actually tell them, look, can you extend it to 40, 45 days? This will give you extra cash flow to use around. The other things you can do is look at your advertising spend. So if you're looking at Facebook, Google, Facebook has a thing where you can actually extend the credit terms. So usually Facebook charges every 1,000, but what you can do is lower it. Number 3 is all about chase outstanding money. So it's about getting your accounting in order. You've got a lot of people that owe you money. Not just chase your outstandings, but ask people that are going to be paying you money. So in the example for the financial planning, we showed you the example of the person that was paying you 2,000 every month. Why don't you speak to that client and say, hey, look, why don't you just pay this money in advance to me? So if that payment terms is after every 30 days, you can actually change the payment terms to bring in that money forward and go, this money needs to be paid at the beginning of every month. And that will automatically help improve your cash flow. So these are some of the things that you can do very quickly to actually improve your cash flow. Ask people for money, chase up debts, and look at where your money is going. Number 4 is all about getting lean. So for those of you that do a gym workout, you all know this term. Getting lean is about losing that excess fat. As a business, if you've been running for a number of years, you generate a lot of fat and you have a lot of services or things that you are paying for that you don't even realize you're paying for. Or sometimes you're paying for services or software that you're not really using. So the easiest way to do this is actually to cancel all your cards. If you cancel all your cards, you'll get a notification saying, hey, look, you need to now restart this software or repay for this. So you'll get a notification for all these softwares that you end up canceling. It's also a good way to actually bring yourself a little bit more time, because usually the services and software that you're paying for, they won't stop automatically. So you can bring yourself more money this way. The other thing to do is also remove employees. I know this isn't the nicest things to do, but sometimes you have employees that aren't in the same mindset as you are. You've got to think about your business at the end of the day. I understand, letting an employee go is not good, but you've got to understand your business. Your loyalty is to your business only. It's not to anyone else. It's not to you. It's not to your employees. You've got to remove the emotion involved. So think about the business. If the business is suffering and it's losing money, the business is in pain. So you would be thinking about the business and you'd be thinking, how can I save this business? How can I help this out? And if the employee is underperforming and you don't need that employee, there is no shame in getting rid of them. Obviously, do it in a nice way and tell them, look, thank you for your hard work, but the business can't sustain paying you. I know it's really bad, but it's just a decision I have to take. It's not a personal decision. It's something that the company just needs to do. And I'm really, really sorry about this. but this is something that needs to be done. You also, a lot of the times you have an employee that you are always second guessing and saying, hey, is this guy doing proper work? Or is this guy giving me so much hassle, like he keeps making mistakes? Then this is a good opportunity for you to also get rid of them. Number 5 is all about asking for help. I know loans are very scary. I was scared about using loans for a very long time. I was at university and I ended up getting a loan, and I ended up getting so many debt collectors after me afterwards that it really just scared me, and I've never used a loan ever since. But I think if you use loans the right way to give you a cash injection or to help you over a downturn, then it's a smart move. If your business is just failing and you weren't succeeding before the pandemic, then it's probably not going to survive beyond the pandemic. So it's a good stopgap to help you bring money while everything is going on. So don't be scared about loans. I know it's very scary, but sometimes you just have to take a loan. Understand your cash flow and take this loan. The other one you can do is do overdrafts. Overdrafts is a credit facility that your banks can give. So they usually give 1,000, 2,000 extra money without interest. I'm gonna have to pause it 1 second. Hello. So this point is all about medium term. So the short term was all about things that you can do in the next 7 days. This is all about the medium term. What can you do beyond the 7 days? So one, you've got reach out to your pipeline. Every business has a bunch of pipeline people that you've reached out to in the past that could potentially turn into sales. Number 2 is about creating a no-brainer offer and using this to sell to your audience. Number 3 is about email boosting and generating over 50%. A lot of you have a lot of money on the table that you're not taking advantage of. It's all about getting an email boost to increase your open rates and get you more sales. 4 is all about personalizing your reach out to your pipeline. Every business has so many old customers. If you've been running for a very long time, you have customers that to who may not have bought from you and ended up buying from someone else. These are all the people that you can actually use and actually reach out to. So it's important that you get through your pipeline. All these people that haven't worked with you in the past, reach out to them, get on a call with them. This is important, right? Not just just email them. Everyone likes to take the easy way out and just email people. But if you call them up and just go, hey, how are you doing? Do you remember me? My name's Samit. We spoke a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and I wanted to see how you're doing. How's your business doing? I know the coronavirus is really bad. You can use this excuse to actually contact them and see whether they need any help. Rather than trying to sell them something that you are offering, ask them, is there anything that they need help with? So they might say, hey, do you know anyone that does web design? Then you can maybe reach out to your contacts and strike up a commission referral deal to someone else. So it doesn't necessarily be helping you out. You can provide referrals or be the connector. But it's important right now to act as try and help people out rather than directly selling them. So this is one of the things you can do. Be the middleman, connect with people, engage with your audience and your customers, and provide value, not just direct. Number 2 is all about creating a no-brainer offer. This is another thing that you can do, is about offering your products and services at a bigger discount. and creating a no-brainer offer. So you may have been, for example, offer is I'm going to give you my course on how to increase open rates above 50%. And I'll be saying I'm going to charge $499 for this. So this is my usual price. But if you want to generate quick money, then what you can do is you can create a no-brainer offer. A no-brainer offer is creating something that just seems so good in value. So what I'm doing, I'm stacking all my offers in one, and I'm offering a one-off price. So for example, I'm going to give you my email open rates 50%. I'm also going to give you how to generate sales. I'm also going to give you copy that sells anything. And I'm also going to give you the launch formula to guarantee success every time. So how much better does this offer compare to, rather than just saying, hey, I'm going to give you $499? You can also tie this offer in, and you can say, look, I'm offering this because of the virus, and a lot of our staff are just sitting here doing nothing. So this is why I'm able to offer it. So otherwise, you're going to end up messing yourself up when the actual pandemic is over. So this no-brainer offer is a real good way to actually increase your cash flow and get some money coming into you. So you can work out, okay, how many of these do I need to sell? If I sell 10 of these, I'll make around $5,000. So this is a great way to bring in some extra cash right now, is create a no-brainer offer or offer a discount to something that you're already offering. So number 3 is about this technique called the email boost over 50%. So you can see the example here. We did it for a client. A lot of the times everyone has a big mailing list. We're leaving a lot of money on the table because we're not generating enough open rates. If you could get the open rates above 50%, then it would make a huge difference to your business. So this is the example. You can see example 1. Example 1, we have a 10,000 email list with 20% open rates. From that 20% open rates, we get a 3% purchase at $99, which gives us about $6,000. But example 2 is 10,000 email list with 50% open rates and 3% purchase at $99. We're generating nearly $15,000. So just by getting your email open rates higher, you actually generate nearly $9,000 extra. So this is what a lot of companies are doing. I've seen a lot of enterprises do this. They're sending out mail outs, but the open rates are so small, and they don't actually question why are the open rates so small. They just think, oh, this must be the norm, because they hear people saying, oh, your open rate should be around 20%. But if you're leaving money on the table by not getting more people to open your emails. So I'm going to be showing you ways on how to actually boost your email. So this is really valuable stuff, and it's going to bring you money straight away. So the first thing is, when you're collecting the emails in the first place, you should be making sure that you're collecting the first name and email address, not just email address. Think about the times that you've signed up to something. If something is there, you're more likely not to really think about it too much, or you're going to give your email addresses which you don't really care about. If you put your first name and email, you're getting a better quality lead. People that are going to leave that first name and email are going to be much more interested in the product you've created. So this is one of the things, right? You've got to be making sure that you're collecting the first name and email, not just the email address. This will mean better quality leads, and it will help you. And also, when you're emailing people, think about the emails that are in your inbox. If someone said, hey, Samit, look at this, then you're going to be like, oh, this looks much natural. So that's why it's important to create your emails much more naturally, rather than just a generic email, right? Target major events. So always relate your emails to an event that's going on. Why is Black Friday so profitable? It's because the industry has created an event that actually drives people to buy more. This is the same for any other event: Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas. This is why it's so important to use these major events as an excuse to create awareness and actually drive people in. You've probably seen right now, there's been so many emails around the coronavirus. So why do you think this is? This is because most people right now are clicking everything that they can see on coronavirus. So this is why your email should be relating to a major event. If you relate to major events, you're going to get much more open rates. The other point is you should be signing up for competitors and trying to reverse engineer them. A lot of the times you don't have to recreate the wheel. If you just look at your competitors and see what they're doing, see what emails of theirs are landing in my inbox, then you can just copy their format. You can even copy their headlines that they're using. So understand what your competitors are doing and reverse engineer that. Most of my stuff that I've ever created has been re-engineered from someone else. It's never been me sitting there thinking, oh, what do I need to do? I always look, whenever I'm lost in business or whenever I'm lost of ideas, I look at what someone else is doing, and then I use these things to make my things better. This is a really good one. So someone was actually charging $99 just for this one little strategy. And I thought it was ridiculous because I do it anyway. So what you need to do is create 2 email addresses. They can be 2 Gmail addresses. It doesn't matter. And whenever you're sending out an email, send the test email to both of them. And what you want to do is you want to see where these emails land. You want to make sure they're landing in the inbox, not in the promotional tab. Most people use Gmail now. So you want to make sure it's landing in the main inbox, not in the promotional tab. Just because emails are going into the promotional tab, you're losing a lot of money. So it's important to be able to test this out. So test out the different email addresses and the different emails that you're sending out and send it to these both. You're going to have one email address that you never open. So that's what you want to make sure. You want to make sure you never open any of them emails. The second email inbox is where you're going to be testing and seeing whether it looks good on mobile, it looks good on desktop. You're going to be testing these things, but you need to make sure that the one email address you never ever open. And if the emails land in this main inbox, then it's a very high chance that they'll land in the inboxes for the rest of your emails. If you're struggling to get the emails to land in the inbox, then you need to make sure that the email is sounding very normal. Have it as a conversation with the people. Don't be too salesy. So having salesy language, keywords like buy, clearance, discount, cash, dollar signs, these are all no-nos in the algorithm of emails. So they naturally will stop these emails coming through. The other thing is you need to create plain text emails. A lot of people go too fancy. A lot of these brands, this is one of the things that they're stuck in. And this is why startups or new businesses that come out of nowhere can actually grab a lot of market share from these guys. There was an example of John Lewis. John Lewis has nearly 1 million email addresses. And after GDPR, their open rates went really down. But if you look at the emails, it's so heavy with images and branding, and that it's so heavy with various things that it doesn't need. If they just remove that and turn it into a plain text email, the open rates will skyrocket and they'll generate a lot more sales. People also generally add too many links on each email. You want one call to action. You don't want 100 call to actions. This includes your social media. People like to put Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, every single thing in the inbox. Just give them and you'll get a lot more people clicking on this rather than clicking on every social media that you have. So make sure one link. Here are some other things. So this is a really good product I like to use called AM Institute. It analyzes having a line will lead people to click on your ads. Click on your create amazing headlines, and if you combine it by collecting the first name, then you can have, hey Samit, look at my amazing product. You create a dynamite headline using that, and you're going to get a lot more people opening your emails. So this is a really called AM Institute, and it helps you build dynamite headlines to get more open. You've also got another tool called Email Subject Line Grader. This is very similar. It ranks lines, and what you can do is you can use journalist articles that are out in the market to get better open rates. You can also use mailtester.com. This is really to work out the spamminess of the emails and whether your emails are landing in the main inbox. So a lot of the times your emails are going to all sorts of inboxes, and you want to make sure that your email aren't actually blocked by any spam filters. So this mail test actually checks whether you are blocked by any spam filters that are out there, or whether you've done something wrong. A lot of the times whenever we've seen a downturn in sales, we've actually seen that it's due to our emails getting blocked by a provider somewhere. So it will give you the solutions of how to get it out the spam filter. You've also got this. It's called spam-check.glockapps.com, and this checks where your email is landing. So this is a really good, important tool. It checks whether you're landing in the inbox or the spam filter, or it's just going somewhere else. So you want to make sure all of these are primary and it's landing in the main inbox. Another way to get your email rates and your open rates open to over 50% is something called resplitting your emails. So resplitting is simply segmenting your email data based on those that haven't opened. So when you do your first email campaign, why don't you send a second email to those who have not opened? All you have to do is change the subject line, and you can do this multiple times until you get more and more open rates. So this is a very simple way of generating more open rates for the same email that you've done and getting it higher. So this is a great way to actually get, with this, we've even seen some campaigns get over 90% open rates because we've just kept doing it over and over again. So, this is really key things here because you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not doing any of this. Number 4 is all about personalizing your sales. So you've all got pipelines, you've all got new prospects, you've got potential customers that you're missing out on. It's time to personalize what you're doing. I'm just doing the same old stuff. They're just sending emails out to customers that are just doing this. But why don't you create Loom videos? If you have a marketing age, you can analyze a prospect's website. Just on your website, these are some of the things I think is wrong with your website. Here is what you can improve, and send them that video. If you've got an e-commerce website, if you get a sale from someone, why don't you send them a video and say, hey, look, thank you for purchasing our product. Have you looked at our other products X, Y, and Z? And this will get you more upsells for what you're doing. Right now, everyone's got a great opportunity to get back to direct mailing. The amount of letters that everyone's looking at, because everyone's stuck at home, right? So you want to make sure what you can do is you can create a letter to send to your prospects. If you've got an e-commerce product, now's the best time to create a nice one-page letter with a focus around some of the products and say, hey, look, you can combine it with the offer letter that we did previously. So imagine sending everyone a direct mail to their homes, and you're gonna get so much more engagement. It's also a good time to re-engage those that you've completely lost. Everyone has these pipelines. So imagine if you sent them a letter right now. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Here's some of the things that we're doing. Here's some ways that we're helping you grow your business. You're gonna get much more sales. Also do a Facebook Live. You've seen a lot of people doing Facebook Lives. This is because it works. People are doing weekly lives. You can do daily lives. Just jump on and start talking about your product. If you've got a community or you've got a service that you're offering, talk about these things and how it's affecting this community. So these are some of the things that you can do to personalize your sales. This is one of the emails that we send out to our clients. It's using my personalized brand. So, using a very nice story. Hey, Alex. And then I've managed to draw on Alex's name onto the door and, pointing at it. And this was quite a good one because it actually ended up getting a sale from him. So, doing a little bit of personalization, using your personal brand, putting your face behind it is going to help you stand out. Right now, everyone's doing the same thing. So you got to be thinking, how can I stand out? And by personalizing your sales or your outreach or whatever you're doing, think about everything that you're doing right now. How can you add a personal touch to it? And I will guarantee that you will see an increase in sales. This is another big one that a lot of people aren't doing right now, is using voice notes. So if you are using LinkedIn on mobile, you can actually create voice notes. So create a list of your top 100 customers or top 100 people you want to connect with. Why don't you create a voice note to them? You can create a very generic one, or you can create a very personalized one to each person and say, hey, Oscar, how are you doing? I would love to help you increase your revenue and increase your sales for Whirlpool. Why don't we jump on a quick call and see how we can do some stuff together? Or you can do this on Facebook Messenger. A lot of customers that you've reached out to in the past, if you've got e-commerce, you'll probably have a lot of them reaching out for help. And just you can drop them a message. You can create a personalized video message. Instagram is the same thing. So if you've got a lot of followers, why don't you interact with people with a personalized voice note? It's going to help you stand out a lot more. It might not get you sales straight away, but it's about standing out for the long term. Sell with your face. So this is my friend CK Chang. He is the founder of Oxwhite. He does a lot of great work. And he's built up a brand with just his face. You know, we were talking about Oxwhite many years ago. He came to one of my master classes, and I actually spoke to him about how to launch his products. And he took some of the ideas I discussed and used it to launch Oxwhite. So, you know, these are some of the things you can do. Talk and sell with your face. A face is much more likely to convert a sale than a brand these days. So, you know, use what he's doing. Whatever you're doing, put your face on it and it will sell. So this is another thing that I want to, it's a little bonus one a lot of people don't use. I want you first to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So you can use the example of what I've got on my LinkedIn. Product launch Sifu helped raise over 31 million. Investor, message me to learn how. So this is just making sure when people look at your profile, they know what you're doing and why they're interacting with it. The reason for this is for the next segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to my network on LinkedIn, and you will have a whole bunch of connections. And on the side, you want to go to, you want to connect with more contacts to connect with. Then what you want to do, you want to put in your emails. So all of your emails that you have, I want you to put them in here. And what it will do, it will bring all of the people you've ever connected with through your emails. It will bring them in and find their LinkedIn profiles. After this, it will send a invite to all of these guys to actually. So this is another free form of marketing. LinkedIn will send out an email to all of the guys you've ever interacted with under that email, as long as they have a LinkedIn profile. So people will again be reconnected and they will see you again. So this is a great way to raise awareness and remind people who you are, and also build up your LinkedIn. As you can see from this example, it boosted my profile for 250%. If you haven't done this before, then you're going to see your numbers are going to be amazing. I do this quite regularly. I do this every month to all the people that we reach out to. So this is a great way to actually bring you some more awareness and potentially more sales and create the conversations. So now we're on to the long term. So on the long term, it's all about doing things to help build up your presence and help. These things won't bring you money straight away, but it's about putting things in place. So when we recover, the curve that I showed you very early on, once the market recovers, you can take advantage, and that's when you will get a lot of sales for your products. So number one is dominating YouTube. Number two is creating a content process. Number three is earn income. And number four is build something and launch. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to find your competitors on YouTube and what you can do. So let me just move this around. So, you know, I love Peng Jun's work, so I'm going to use him as an example. I know a lot of you guys know him. So what you can do if you wanna become the next Peng Joon, or you wanna do whatever your competitors are doing, what I recommend doing is find their channels on YouTube. Then what I want you to do is go to their videos. You can customize this by actually looking for the most popular videos and start creating the most popular videos. A lot of the times people are like, oh, I don't know what to talk about, or I don't know what video content to make. But this is the easiest way to do it. You look at what your competitors are doing and then make the exact same video, exact same headlines that they've used is the simplest way. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip this ad. Then what you got the video. We're not going to go through a whole 1 hour video, whatever he has, but what you can do is you can just click on these three dots that are here and go open transcript. And as you can see, it's going to open exactly what he's been talking about, and you can actually work out the main topic areas. You can also hide the timestamps. Sorry. You can also hide the timestamps to understand. So if you want to hide the timestamps, just click here. And now you can just copy and paste this into a Word document. And there you go. You've got your video content for what video to make. So this is how to start creating video content very easily to dominate YouTube. Imagine if you created all the videos that Peng Joon has. You are going to get a lot of traffic, right? If you look at some of his traffic, he's got crazy amounts of traffic. So this is how you can start generating leads for your business by just start doing all these videos. Create one video a day, 2 videos a day, work out what needs to be created, and this is an easy way to start dominating YouTube. Just copy the headlines they have, copy exactly, you can change it around a little bit, but this is exactly what he's doing. At the moment, he's creating a lot of content around the coronavirus and he's relating it to business. So he obviously knows, this is a hot topic everyone's searching for at the moment. And this is exactly some of the stuff that you can be doing yourself. So yeah, so you want to create all that video content. You want to aim for at least 1 video per day. And this will help you dominate search results for YouTube in your niche. Number 2 is all about creating a content process. So the reason we're shooting video first is because with this one video, you can turn it into a blog post for your website. The blog post will obviously help you with SEO. This is again more content for your website to help it rank and to engage your potential customers. Afterwards, you can also turn this into a podcast. Again, you're going to be building up your traffic flow from that. Then you can turn it into social media posts, again, engaging those who are signed up or that are part of your following. Again, you can turn into a free ebook to give away and generate leads. And then you can also turn this into a book on Amazon to sell and again, generate leads. And the last thing you can do is set up a Facebook group. So this is actually a very powerful formula to make some money and dominate what you're doing. If you follow this content creation process and you do it for 30 days without fail, I guarantee you, once you come out of the process of the pandemic, you will be inundated with leads from everywhere. You'll be getting so much inquiries for whatever you're doing. I don't care what you're doing, but this is the way to do it. You can even do this if you're selling cakes, create nice videos of you making cakes. So think about what you can do, but this is the one formula. Take a screenshot of it, set this up and let it run. This is the content process to help you dominate. Seriously, do this and you will dominate everything. Number 3 is about earning an income. Sometimes, no matter what we're doing, some of you may be in a tough spot. If things are really, really bad, then there is no shame in working the gig economy. So by that, I mean, start riding Ubers, start working on Upwork, start creating things on Etsy. If you need money to come in ASAP, start earning an income, start doing something. Even if you have a business, you might necessarily not need to be there because you're not doing any business development. But what you can do, you can even do part-time. If your money is that tied up, ride an Uber for a couple hours. So think about what you can do, and if things are really bad, it is about looking for a job. Work out what's going wrong with your business, understand where you are, and if things are really, really bad, then by all means earn some money. There is no shame in it. A lot of people ride Uber, do Upwork, do Deliveroo, and you can make some good money from this. So think about what you need to do, and sometimes the best decision might be earn some money and use that money to pile into the marketing activities or the traffic activities, or hire freelancers to do it yourself themselves. So number 4 is all about build and launch. So some of you right now, some of you may have a business, some of you may not have a business, some of you may be looking to launch new products to market, new services to market. So now is the time to actually build these things by using the power of the crowd. So this is a traditional launch of a business. You can see the first couple of days you might generate, but then you generate no sales, and then you generate a random sale afterwards. So if you look at this is what a lot of traditional business launches look like. Low, lot of laborious work, and it just takes a long time to build things up. But what if you did 3 months before you started doing everything that I just spoke about today? You did the Facebook advertising, you did like dominating YouTube, you did the SEO, you started doing Instagram, you started building up your email lists. What do you think would happen to that business once you launch it? Do you think you're going to fail, or do you think you're going to succeed? Drop a comment right now. Let me see what you guys think is going to happen if you start doing all of these things I told you to do, and you did it for 3 months. This plan I gave you was the 30 days, right? If you did this for 3 months consistently, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're going to make some money? Do you think that new product or that new service that you've created is going to be a success? Hell yeah, right? Hell yeah, it's going to be a mega success. Look at this. This is exactly what I did and this is the same strategy I use again and again for every successful product launch, regardless of what it is. You can see this was a project that raised 1.6 million. It raised 500,000 just on day one, 250,000 in 56 minutes. But you can see, you're generating sales every single day. There's no day where you're not generating sales. So you get a huge day one sale, you get secondary, third, and you keep getting sales because you're re-engaging with your email list. Your people keep seeing you, people keep signing up, you keep getting leads every single day. So this is the strategy I want you guys to launch. Anytime you think about launching anything, I want you to start building up before you even launch. Don't think about, let me just launch this. Build it up. I want you to build. I want you to get that in your head. Build before you launch anything in the future. The power of the crowd can be used to launch anything. I've seen it used everywhere. If you think about movies, think about how movies are launched. You get a trailer maybe a year before the movie is launched. Then 6 months, you get another trailer. Then a couple of months before the launch, you get even more trailers. And you get the casts of the movie doing tours around the world. They're being on the red carpet. They're getting a lot of press, and they're building up that excitement to the actual launch. Think about launching your podcast or music career, or launching a new book or a SaaS platform or anything you want to do. This is the strategy you got to do. You got to build up leads of people interested in the product even before you decide to launch. This is what Tesla did. Tesla, Elon Musk, all of us know Elon Musk. He launched his Cybertruck, right? So he didn't have any on order. He said they were going to be launching in a couple of years, but everyone could reserve that Cybertruck. He created a really good PR by throwing a brick in the window. I don't know whether it was meant to be, but knowing him, he's really smart. I'm sure it was a stunt. And he got a lot of press on the back end of that. He also generated a whole lot of money because if you've read his book, he always does these little stunts when he needs money or he needs leverage with investors. So this is what he did. He generated 146,000 Cybertruck orders, which is crazy. And he did the biggest launch of them all. All he did was do a launch, right? He's built this community of people that love Tesla. He's built a community of people that follow Elon Musk and everything he does. And then he did a live and said, hey, look, this is our new product. The master of this product launches was also actually Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs used to get there. He'd have his turtleneck jumper, the light on him, and he'd create a massive event around the launch of the event, his product, right? Hey, this is the brand new iPhone. It's slimmer, it's lighter. These are the same things. It never used to be as amazing, but he'd always create such a amazing event around it and build up the excitement that people would just buy it. So this is the same thing you've got to think about every time you are launching something. Be the entertainer, be the person that is going to amaze, be the person that's generating excitement with your community. I also did the same thing for my book launch, and it ended up being one of the best sellers in the crowdfunding space. Crowdfunding can work for any business. This is OcuShield. They do screen protectors for mobile phones. They did the launch and they generated 150,000 on the first day of launch. So, this was a very basic example, but this is a great product. It blocks out blue light. It helps protect your family, help protect mum, dad, and actually, as a business entrepreneur, if you're working really late, you get really tired. So this is a really cool product. Oxwhite, as I mentioned earlier, they do this and they continuously do this. The first time CK launched his white shirts, he did the build up. He didn't have any products to actually ship to people. He took pre-orders and then he went to his factory and said, hey, look, I've got these thousands of orders. Can you now make them? So he didn't invest in anything other than the marketing for these products. So if you're thinking about launching something new, if you're thinking about launching a new service, or if you're even going to be opening a new shop, then you can start building up. If you're going to open up a cake shop, start building up. Hey, this is the new cake shop we're launching. It's going to be launching soon. Keep following us, give us your email, and communicate with these people. You can launch anything from watches, wallets, bags, card games, t-shirts, whatever you want to launch. So, it's for everything. So I want you guys to get that into your head. Launching a business, launching a service, launching anything, you should build for it. And the best way to do that is by building up leads, start generating some leads, and that's all you need. So here we go. Got an example of a landing page. So this is a very simple landing page that you can create. Just asking for people's emails. On the second page, you can have a video of yourself to connect with that personal engagement. You can even ask people for a deposit. If you're creating something, then you can actually get money for it even before you start making it. So you can see whether what you've created is a good idea. So this is the typical flow of the funnel that I'm talking about. Drive some traffic, drive it to the landing page, drive it to the thank you page, and you can even start creating your own VIP group of people. This is the same thing I did for the launch of the crowdfunding Facebook book. I told people, hey, go to this website, download it, and then add me as a friend. And then they would get this email from me, hey, why don't you join me as join my Facebook group? Add me as a friend on Facebook, and then you can bring them into the Facebook group that you've created, build up your own community, just like an email list. It's the money making formula. So anytime you are thinking about launching something, build up leads. If you generate 10,000 emails, for example, and the price you're charging is $99 and you get maybe a 5% conversion, you have generated $50,000. This is what you should be doing as the build up process. So I want you guys to look through that. Let's work out how much time I've got. All right, I've got a few more times, so I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses that I have. Twitter is a great way to actually find people. So, type in what you're selling, what you're offering. If you're selling cakes, just type in I love cakes and you'll see a bunch of people talking about cakes. If you're an electrician, if you're a builder, if you're providing business services, just put it into the Twitter search and you'll it'll come with a whole bunch of people interested in what you're doing. You can also use this time to become an expert on Quora or Reddit. I'm the most viewed writer for Kickstarter and crowdfunding and product launches on Quora. Quora is a website where people ask questions. So it'll be like, oh, how can I make money? Or how can I avoid the coronavirus? And depending on what your business is, you can become the expert in that field and provide feedback on your knowledge. And you can generate a lot of traffic back to your website and a lot of views. You can also look into Pinterest. Pinterest, I generate nearly 1 million monthly views every time. And I just post cool products that I like. I post videos about how people can make money. I do a whole bunch of stuff. So, this is another channel that you can utilize. YouTube again. So this was a really cool hack that we did for one of the campaigns. What you can do is you can find all your competitors' video channels, and within the comments, you can create conversations. So what you can do is you can create conversations. Oh, hey, I really like this product, but I was thinking about X, Y, and Z. And within X, Y, and Z, you can put your product or your company or what you're doing. So this is a way to hijack the traffic of your competitors. For example, if I wanted to hijack Penjun's customers or Penjun's followers, then what I can do is I can start creating conversations on his YouTube channels between all these different virtual assistants I can hire, and they can create these conversations, and this will generate traffic back. It could be like, oh, I love Pengjun stuff, but I felt like I got much more value from Samit Patel, like that. And that, if you put that there and other people are reading, they're going to go into Google and put in Samit Patel, and that's how people can find me. You can do the same trick for Instagram. A lot of influencers on Instagram, a lot of comments going on. You may have seen some of these comments that are being done. You can actually post on the comment section and go, hey, I love this post. I wanted to see what Samit Patel does. It's very similar to what Samit does. Or I loved this tips on money making, but I also loved Samit's tips on money making. So, you can relate it back and create a conversation. Also, there's a lot of Facebook groups. So this is another way for you to interact. Facebook groups. What I do with Facebook groups is I would think about how to add value to these groups. So what you can do is you can create a value post. So maybe there must be an email marketing group. So what you can do is you can maybe talk about, for example, what I talked about today, how to increase open rates over 50%. I would create that in article form, and then I'd post it. I'd ask the admin if I can post it. And if I post it in that group, it will present me as an expert, and then people will naturally add me as a Facebook friend. And then obviously I can create conversations with them and say, hey, do you want me to do this for you? You've also got Twitter automation tools like Tweepy. Tweepy is a great tool where you can actually scrape the followers of your competitors, and then you can start following them. This will obviously give you more awareness. You've also got LinkedIn automation called Grow the Lead. Grow the Lead is a automated software, and what this does, it will follow people on LinkedIn. So you can actually select who you want to target, and it will automatically follow them. You can also automatically message them. Again, think about creating conversations, not just selling. This is really just sell to people, create conversations with them. So for those continue conversations, or if you're looking into Facebook advertising, I've got a book. Just go to samitpatel.net/book-3. It's on Amazon and Google. It's all about how to do Facebook advertising. It can be used. Do check it out. It's an amazing book. It's a great workbook with lots of workbooks and things for you to do. And that's it, really. So, if you want to keep following me as a influencer or an expert, don't forget to check out my Instagram. I really would love to hear from you. Maybe create a video and tell me whether you like this this presentation I did, or what you think about it. You can also add me as a Facebook friend. So please add me as a Facebook friend. I'd love to be able to have you in my community and to what you're up to. I'm also going to be creating a free weekly group coaching. So it's important that you add me. I'll be announcing the details for the free group coaching, where every week you'll be able to talk about your problems that you're having, and I'll be able to come out with actionable ways for you to solve them. And there'll be other entrepreneurs, other business owners that you can learn from. So thank you for having me. I love all of you guys. Please don't forget to follow me on the socials and keep this conversation going. And, you know, I post a lot of great things. So, yeah. And thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Samit. We got so much value out of this 1 hour presentation. You shared so many things. Even I myself learned so much things. I would have could have started this whole conversation or all this session before I launched this base summit. We could probably bring in a lot more people coming in. So thank you very, very much for sharing all these with all of us here today. And if there is just one last advice you're going to give to all our entrepreneurs and SMEs, e-commerce business owners down here in Malaysia, what will be that one advice that you will give?
I think it's just a case of do it, right? A lot of people, like even I myself, when I was very early on, I'd always throw up all these excuses not to do something. You know, I used to hate getting in front of video. I still hate doing like a selfie video on my phone. Like I just feel so stupid, right? But I've just literally said to myself, I just need to do it, just to start doing stuff. Like it's not about being perfect. A lot of the times we try and make things everything perfect. Like even the YouTube videos I used to do, I'd sit there and I'd do so many retakes. I'd be sitting there making the videos again and again and again, and I'd be wasting the whole day and I'd only make one video. But if I did the whole day and I made video after video, I'd be able to make 10, 20 videos that would be ranking on YouTube, because YouTube is a search platform in itself. So rather than overthinking something, just do it. Like that's the key thing. You know, right now you're stuck. You're scared. You're thinking, crap, you know, what if this doesn't change? But to change your mindset and just start doing stuff rather than worrying, because worrying is not going to get you anywhere, right? You just need to do stuff. Start putting stuff out there. And you'll see, you know, once you start doing stuff, you'll feel much better. You'll see the results in what you're doing, and everything will just be a much happier place.
All right, so that's it. That's it for this session. The power of the crowd to make your business unstoppable. And we had Samit Patel, the CEO of Joopio. Thank you very much, Samit. We'll see you in the next session.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.